The office, which has been touted as a major measure of the Akufo-Addo government's fight against corruption, also saw the resignation of its first ever head barely 2 years into his 7-year tenure. Martin Amidu resigned on allegations of interference by the president in his work. Many are divided on the rate of performance of the office in its short period of existence. For critics of the office and the first special prosecutor, the inability of the office to be fully operational is worrying. The Act mandates for the office to be operated under 4 divisions, namely investigations, prosecutions, asset recovery and management, and finance and administration. But as of the time of his resignation, these divisions were yet to be fully operationalized, with challenges in completing the physical complex of the office taking center stage.
We have set up an office. We have to organize that office, have the requisite personnel. It doesn't take 1 day. My law says that 90 days after the assumption of office of the Special Prosecutor, pursuant legislation must be enacted. As we speak today, I have no legislation. So I use my common sense. The law says I can coordinate with other organizations. So I coordinate with the Auditor General. I coordinate with Yoko. I coordinate with other anti-corruption bodies.
The office has 3 major objectives, which include the investigation and prosecution of specific cases of alleged or suspected corruption and corruption-related offenses, and the recovery of proceeds of corruption and corruption-related offenses. The second half-yearly publication of the Office of the Special Prosecutor on updates of the work of the office as of March 5, 2021, indicated that the office was prosecuting 2 separate cases involving Bawku Central MP Mahama Ayariga. In the first case, the legislator, together with 6 others, was being prosecuted for sidestepping procurement rules in the purchase of an ambulance. The court has since that publication acquitted and discharged all accused persons for no wrongdoing. The second case involves the alleged misappropriation of a car loan arrangement facilitated by Parliament for members of Parliament, for which Mr. Mahama Ayariga was a beneficiary. Though the court is yet to come to a conclusion on the matter, Mr. Ayariga believes the entire prosecution is a waste of time.
It's been 2 stressful years of going to Office of Special Prosecutor, going through long interrogations and etc., going to court, preparing to cross-examine witnesses, writing submission of no case, and all those things. It's been 2 long years that sometimes even, I need to travel on ECOWAS assignment, but because of the court case, I can't go and all that. There was a time when my passports, each time I had to go and apply to court for a passport and permission to travel. Later on, the judge seems to have relaxed some of those issues.
Former MP Inusa Fuseni, however, believes the former Special Prosecutor Martin Amidu could have channeled his energy towards other corruption cases in the first term of the NPP government.
But Amidu was his own clock. He was taking at his own pace. And so, yes, did he meet the expectations of Ghanaians? Not exactly. But was he doing the work? Yes, at his own pace. There were many cases that clearly could have been investigated by Amidu and sent shivers of fear into the hearts and minds and spines of government officials that the Special Prosecutor will go after them.
On the objective of recovering proceeds of corruption and corruption-related offences, nothing has been realized since the inception of the office. The second yearly publication of the office on March 5, 2021 indicates that there have been no acquittals and convictions, as the 2 cases listed above are pending as being prosecuted. Consequently, no value of any assets have been recovered. But the office has received widespread commendation in its corruption risk assessment on the Ejapa royalties deal, which formed part of its objective in taking steps to prevent corruption. The report led to the halting of the deal, which a number of civil society organizations and the opposition National Democratic Congress described as corrupt. The former Special Prosecutor Martin Amidu was engaged in a number of controversial issues and media banter in the line of his work. There were counter-accusations between the presidency and Martin Amidu in the aftermath of the report on the anti-corruption risk assessment on the Ejapadio. Martin Amidu was condemned by former President John Mahama over his handling of the Airbus scandal. Mr. Inusa Hussaini believes the next special prosecutor should deviate from Mr. Amidu's approach of direct banter.
The strategy of the office of the special prosecutor should be an anonymous public servant. It should be somebody who works. His work will show and not his face. If Kisia Jabin is made public prosecutor, we should all know that Kisia Jabin is the public prosecutor. But he should not allow his face to go with his name.
The office, however, is currently investigating a number of corruption-related offences reported to it by Ghanaians. Some of them include the allegation of financial loss to the state against Bost in the sale of 1.8 million barrels of contaminated fuel, and the petition from Anas Armiyo Anas and his Tiger IPI team for the office to investigate a piece on alleged corruption or bribery case involving Mr. Charles Bisiu, who was then a presidential staffer and secretary to the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining.